Hi, this is Dan Sullivan. I'd like to welcome you to the Multiplier Mindset Podcast. I just want to spend a few minutes talking about happiness because everybody really wants this. And since I deal almost exclusively with entrepreneurs throughout my life, I've noticed that there are a lot of entrepreneurs who just keep getting happier, and not just because of their business success, but just because of the way that they're actually living their life. And then there's individuals who, no matter how much they achieve, it never produces a happy result for them. They never get a sense that while they're becoming more successful financially and in terms of their entrepreneurial reputation, in terms of their importance and profile in the marketplace, nothing seems to make them happy. Quite a long time ago, I had an insight about happiness that it was actually not a result of anything that you were doing. It was actually a choice that you were making about how you were going to look at everything that happened to you in your life, and that you were just going to choose that regardless of whether it was a difficult situation or an easy situation, whether it could have been a very negative experience or a very positive experience, I was simply going to choose to be happy with whatever happened. And it clarified things enormously that happiness is a choice. It's not a result of anything that's taking place outside of myself. It's an internal decision, it's an internal capability, and it's a decision that can get more and more powerful the more that you choose to be happy. So happiness, first of all, is a mindset then, and then happiness is a continual set of acting in a way that regardless of what happens to you outside of yourself, you're going to be happy with it. And it seems almost like, well, this is too simple. What you're saying, Dan, is just way, way too simple. Life is a lot more complicated than that. And I said, well, try it out. I said, you don't have to commit the rest of your life to what I'm saying here, but try it out just for 24 hours. So before you go to bed one night, say, tomorrow, from the time I get up until I go back to bed tomorrow night, I'm just going to approach everything from the standpoint that regardless of what it is, regardless of what happens, I'm going to be happy with it. It's going to add to my happiness. The first day is actually kind of hard because the notion or the thought that other things are in control of my happiness is a very, very deep habit. And this is reinforced enormously by messages that we get in the outside world from the newspapers, from TV, from the movies, from novels, where people more or less have bought into a mindset that outside factors are in control of their internal happiness. And this is a decision. So in my case, I said, well, I'm making the decision that external factors are no longer in charge of my internal happiness. My internal happiness is going to be something completely free from external circumstances. What happens when you start doing this and you stick with it for 24 hours and then you say, well, let's see if you can do 2 days. And you know, the old wisdom about habits that anything that you can do more or less consistently and continually for 21 days or for a month will become a habit. And that's simply what I've noticed. And there's a lot of challenges to that. You know, the normal course, what happens to you in life is to a fair amount, it's actually unpredictable. New things happen that you never anticipated. And so to allow all this unpredictability to happen to you, all these things that catch you by surprise, and still always have the response that no matter what this external unpredictable factor is, the end result is going to make me happier. What I've noticed then is that this becomes my capability towards the world. And what I notice is because I'm generally happy and I communicate this happiness to other people, it's attractive. It actually attracts people. Quite frankly, we like being around happy people. So instead of going looking for happy people to be with, why don't you just be the happy person that other people want to be with? So that has been my approach. And people say, well, I just think that you're taking all the drama out of life. And I said, well, I'm taking all the negative drama out of life. I still have quite a bit of exciting drama in life. There's happy things that are very dramatic because they also take you by surprise. But since I have a choice of how I want to look at things in life, then I've just decided that happiness is just going to be my standard approach to anything, and that I'm not looking or making things outside of myself responsible for my happiness. My happiness is my business. My happiness is my responsibility. And no one else need to have that responsibility. So when I'm with people, no one that I ever encounter ever has the responsibility of making me happy. I'll take care of that myself. Now let's just see if we can actually create things together, if we can actually cooperate with each other and create things that both of us are increasingly happy about. So I don't know if this simplifies things for you or you think it's just simplistic way of thinking about it, but ultimately you're the only one who can be responsible for your own happiness. No other person has that responsibility, so I've accepted that 100%. This is very, very important for entrepreneurs because you've chosen a life where a lot of surprising things are going to happen to you, and therefore, why don't you prepare for all those surprising things by saying, regardless of what it is, it's going to make me happy.